Hello, BookTube. Hello, friends. Welcome to Lizziefaye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth. Today is March the 16th. We have reached the midpoint of March, and I even have an appropriate shirt. If you want to know what this is about, I actually have a video about it. I'll try to put it in a card up here. This shirt is 8 or 9 years old now. But today is March the 16th, midpoint of March Mystery Madness. And I thought it would be fun to come on here and just give you a little reading update and share with you what I have read. I have been plowing through some audiobooks. And so as a result, I have finished almost a book a day. In fact, I had finished a book a day up until yesterday, and I decided to tackle a really long book that has been on my currently reading list for a little while, and I've just been kind of dragging my feet about it. And it's on my 60 by 60 list, and I thought, okay, I need to get this finished. I have the CDs checked out from my library, but this is The Clockmaker's Daughter by Kate Morton. It is fine. I'm enjoying it well enough, but I am kind of having a hard time just following when the timelines change. Kate Morton does a great job with timelines and everything, but because I'm listening to it and I'm trying to multitask, I don't always catch when the timelines change, and I'm not always sure exactly what timeline each character is in, but I'm following along with it well enough. And now that I'm getting close to the end, I have, I think, 3 discs left out of 14. And now that I'm getting close to the end, it's starting to kind of come together, and it's starting to gel a little bit better in my brain. And I am enjoying it. So I'm glad that I am getting through it. But it is, taking me some time. But I have been binging some audiobooks. I still have a few left to listen to this month, but I've been steadily making progress in my mystery books for the month. I have not started my Mammoth, which I showed in my TBR video. I have not really started any middle grade books until today. Actually, well, I take that back. I did read a little short one, but I have others that I want to read, and this wasn't even on my list. But I found this. I was just going through some books that I was going to list on eBay, and I have my whole Spiderwick series listed on eBay. And I thought it was just an excerpt of one of the books, but it actually has what's called a lost chapter. So I thought, well, I'll just sit down and read it. So I did. This is the first 3 chapters of The Seeing Stone. It's called Goblin's Attack, and it says it's a special edition of The Seeing Stone. And then instead of the 4th chapter of The Seeing Stone, it has a lost chapter. And so then, you would need to have the full version of The Seeing Stone, which looks like this, in order to get the whole story. I think there are several of these little special editions. I'm not sure how many of the larger books have the little special editions of them. I've seen at least 1 or 2 others, but anyway, I'll probably go ahead and stick this in with my lot of Spiderwick books that I've got listed on eBay, just to put that little bonus chapter in there. It was cute. So that got me thinking about Spiderwick, and just today I started this one. So I got this from the library recently. This is a companion book to the Spiderwick Chronicles. Now, I should have done all this in February. We had Faebruary, we had Folklore February. I'm just kind of making up for what I didn't get read in February. But this is Arthur Spiderwick's Field Guide to the Fantastical World Around You. And there are a handful of companion books to the Spiderwick Chronicles. I've read at least a couple of them. In fact, I own 2 of them, and they're with my lot that's on eBay. This is a library book, but I wanted to just go ahead and read it while I was thinking about it. And I went ahead and checked out the movie because I've never watched it. I still haven't yet, but I am going to watch it within the next week, probably. This is the Spiderwick Chronicles. It was presented by Nickelodeon. I'm not even sure how old this is, but I know it's been around a while, and I've just never watched it. So, and speaking of what we're watching, okay, I'll get to the mysteries in just a minute, but speaking of what we're watching, we have been watching The Waltons, and we are in season 2 right now. We're, I think, on the 2nd disc out of 5, and we haven't watched any in the last few days, but we've really been enjoying this. And by we, I mean my husband and myself. What we've been watching over the last little while, though, has been the Reacher series. Season 3 came out a few weeks ago, so we watched the initial 3 that came out when they were first released, and then every Thursday morning, I think, a new one comes out. So I think we're up to episode 6 right now, and I think there's only going to be 8. So we just have 2 left to watch. But I feel like there's a lot more foul language in this season 3 than there was. I take that back. There was a good bit in the last season. I think what it is there's a lot more foul language in the show than there actually is in any of the books. I have not noticed that much foul language in the books. So if you've tried watching the show and you think, oh, I don't want to read those books if there's that much foul language, there's actually really not. I don't think. So anyway, that's what I've been watching and what I've been sort of making up for February. One other little kids book that I read, I've been putting together a box of things for my friend Beth from Soul Stained Ink and her 2 daughters, because I was able to get a lot of stuff when our bookstore had a liquidation location back at the end of the year, and I'm still trying to get all of that put together for her. But as I was putting things in boxes, I realized that I had this. This is called Rabbit's New Fur, a Native American Tale by Richard C. Lawrence, illustrated by Matt Straub. Now, this is just a little book that was made for a classroom situation, but I remember that Beth has read a lot of stories by Tim Tingle. He is a Choctaw author, and Choctaw is my tribe. I'm a member of the Choctaw tribe, and this is just a Native American tale. I don't think it's specific to any particular tribe, but I just thought this would be fun to send her, but I wanted to read it myself. So I did read this. I haven't even looked to see if it's on Goodreads. It's really small, and I'm probably not going to be able to count this on Goodreads, although I guess if I did count this, then I can say that I've read a book a day, including all the audiobooks. So maybe we'll just, for the purposes of this video, we'll just say that. So anyway, of course, today doesn't count because it's still middle of the day. But I am planning to finish The Clockmaker's Daughter today. So anyway, this was cute. And it's basically explaining about how otters became swimmers. So it was a cute little story. So let's get to what I'm reading for March Mystery Madness. So I have 2 books I'm reading in print that I'm just chinking away at, and I am halfway through Dim Sum of All Fears by Vivian Chen. I'm really, really enjoying this one. It's book 2 in the Noodle Shop series. Then I should be at the halfway point of Full Dark House by Christopher Fowler, but I've gotten a little bit behind. All I really needed to do was just read 2 chapters a day, and they're short chapters. But I had a couple of days this past week that I didn't have time to do much reading at all, and I fell behind. So I'm still working to catch back up, although at this point I should really just read 3 chapters a day until I finish it. Anyway, this is very interesting, very different, and I did start a discussion thread on our Discord for this. I haven't been there in a few days to see if anybody has contributed to the discussion, but if you're interested in reading it and you want to chat about it, just head over to the March Mystery Madness Discord group so that you can chat about this. There is a channel specifically for it. Then my main read-along that I've been announcing from the beginning, I am halfway through The Berry Pickers by Amanda Peters. I've been listening to this one on audio. I am caught up to the halfway point, but I have not been on Goodreads yet this week to make comments about the second section. This is very good. And of course, as I've said before, this is not like a whodunit mystery. There are a lot of questions. There was a crime committed, and there are a lot of questions, and I'm really interested to see how it's all going to play out. It's really just a historical fiction book that has a lot of tragedy and a lot of bad things that happen to good people, and so hopefully it will, all come out in the wash, and it will come out okay in the end. I don't know, but I've heard several people say that they are reading this, and if you are one of those people, I hope that you are enjoying it. So if you saw my video that I posted the other day about AI generated audiobook narrators. You will have seen that I talked about binging a series that is from the Love Inspired Suspense line. This is the True Blue Canine Unit series. And if you are curious about my reactions to AI generated audiobook narrators, then go watch that video. But this is a 9-book series, and I actually listened to 8 of them. There are 8.5 of them available on audio. I had already read the .5 novella on my Kindle before I started this, and there is one last book that is made up of 2 novellas. Almost all of these love-inspired canine suspense series end with a 2-story Christmas book that never gets put on audio. It is still part of the series, but the main overarching mystery is, I think, always solved and wrapped up in these first 8 books. And then this is just kind of a little epilogue where there are 2 other little short romances. It kind of wraps up the storylines of a couple of the other team members. So I have not read this one yet. I will perhaps save this one maybe for July. I don't have time to read it right now, and I don't want to wait all the way until December. So, you know, if there's some sort of Christmas in July prompt or something, that might be a good excuse to pick it up then. But anyway, this is the last book in the series, The True Blue Canine Unit Christmas by Laura Scott and Maggie K. Black. But here's what I did read. Book 1 is Justice Mission by Lynette Eason, and then Act of Valor by Dana Mentink, Blind Trust by Laura Scott, Deep Undercover by Lenora Worth, Seeking the Truth by Terry Reed, Trail of Danger by Valerie Hansen, Courage Undercover by Sharon Dunn. And I think I've had these in the right order. If I didn't, my apologies. And then this should be book 8, Sworn to Protect by Shirley McCoy. So while I was listening to that series, I was working on cleaning and organizing and listing a lot of the books, romance books mainly, that I had picked up at our liquidation store back in December and January. And I've been getting those gone through and listed on eBay. So I ran across this book. This is called Rocky Mountain Revenge by Rhonda Starnes. And so I got to looking at it. I thought this looks really interesting. And I was going to include it with a listing of books that all have like a mountain setting that I had listed last year, and there was already a copy in that bundle. And so this was extra, and I got to looking at it, and in fact, I'll just read you the first couple sentences. It says, temporarily home to help at her family's vet clinic, Grace Porter has no intentions of staying, but someone's determined she won't live long enough to leave. So it, there was something to do with a vet clinic and everything, and I thought, oh, well, let me just see if that's on audio. So I looked, and sure enough, this was also on audio on Hoopla with an AI-generated audiobook narrator. Well, I already had been listening to those others, so I knew what to expect. So I went ahead and listened to this one too, just because I was really interested at the time. And now I can still add this to a different listing on eBay. I've got a list of miscellaneous books from the Love Inspired Suspense line that I'm going to put it with. But I just thought it sounded interesting, and it was. I really did enjoy it. So that makes a total of 9 romantic suspense books that I have listened to on audio for March Mystery Madness. But wait, there's more. In the middle of listening to that Love Inspired Suspense series, I got a notification that the next Reacher book that I had put on hold through Libby had come in, and I put the brakes on everything, and I listened to the next Reacher, which I think is book 20. It's called Make Me, and I really enjoyed it. Now, I did not love this one as much as some of the others. I kept getting distracted. I was busy, and I kept having to rewind parts of it because I would get confused about what was happening, but still very good. No complaints. I did really enjoy it, and I am for sure going to continue reading Reacher. In fact, the audio of the next book I can only get on CD, which really what spurred me on to getting this one done, because I don't want to have more than one CD book going at the same time, and I need to finish this one because I have the next Reacher book already checked out from the library on CD. It's called Night School, and I can't wait to start it. Then for my mystery book club this month, we read Cleat by James Lee Burke. Now, I had said earlier something and that may not be correct. I had thought that my librarian friend had said that this was going to start a new spinoff series. And, you know, who's to say what will happen? But she said no, she thinks that this may actually end up being the last book in the series. I think this author is maybe like 88 years old. He's probably ready to retire. I think this is book 24, 23 or 24 in the Dave Robichaux series. Now, we read a Dave Robichaux book. It was called Tin Roof Showdown, I believe, a few years ago, and it was okay. All of these books are set in southern Louisiana. They are definitely hardcore, rough, gritty, not everybody's cup of tea, not really my cup of tea either, but I liked this one. This is from the point of view of his best friend Cleat. Rather than being from Dave Robichaux's point of view, it's from Cleat's point of view. And, you know, he's just a very flawed human. He knows his limitations. He knows that, you know, he has not always done things the right way. And he, you know, apologizes for that. And he beats himself up a lot for things he's, you know, done wrong in the past. And he beats himself up for things that other people have done wrong in the past. I liked this one a lot more than I thought I would. I still just rated it 3 stars because it's really not my thing. But, something interesting that Sarah said to me the other day, we were on Thrifty Tim's live stream for March Mystery Madness, and she said, well, yeah, but you like Reacher, isn't that about the same? And I said, well, there's a different vibe, but I got to thinking about it, and she's not wrong. I mean, Reacher deals with kind of, you know, the scum of the earth kind of people, and so do Dave Robichaux and Cleat. I don't know. It's just a little bit, it feels different. I think she said, you know, she considers both of these to be what she would call dad books. And yeah, she's not wrong. So I don't know what it is. It doesn't really have anything to do with the Reacher show because I was reading the Reacher series long before the show came out. I know some people have gotten into reading Reacher because of the show, but I am watching the show because of the books. Anyway, this was okay. I have tried going back and reading the first Dave Robichaux book, and it was just too much. I just couldn't do it. So I doubt I will read any more. Our book club reaction was divided. Some people enjoyed it. Some people did not. Some people just really did not like it at all. It has a bit of a supernatural element, and we weren't really sure what to do with that because you don't really expect that going into it. But there was a tiny bit of a supernatural element in the Tin Roof Showdown book. So, I don't know. Anyway, I don't want to spend too much more time on this. I did read it. It was interesting. I didn't hate it. And we'll just leave it at that. I have read one cozy mystery. I've listened to this one on audio, and I'm going to listen to one more in this series. This is Murder at an Irish Bakery by Carleen O'Connor. This is from the Irish Village mystery series. I think this is book 10. I don't know, it's 9 or 10, somewhere around there. And I enjoyed this a lot. This is very good. I love this character. I think she is just a great strong female character. Now, my friend Storm from Storm Reads does not like the main character. So, you know, to each his own. But I have just enjoyed this series. I like her. She's kind of snarky. I just enjoy her banter with other people and with her husband. And it's just a lot of fun. So I do plan to read the next one, which is Murder at an Irish Chipper. Then I also want to read The Silence of the Flans by Laura Bradford. This is book 2 in the Emergency Dessert Squad series. I'm reading this with the Killing Time with Cozies group. We are doing the whole series, which is only 3 books, as a read-along. So we're on book 2 for this month. I'm just kind of waiting till it's a little closer to our discussion because I'm going to listen to it on audio and it won't take me very long. And I don't want to forget it before it's time to discuss it. And then one other cozy mystery that I have barely started. I'm reading this on my phone, and this is the read-along that Tiffany the Beachbound Bookworm is hosting, and it is the first book in the Cheese Shop Mysteries by Corina Moss called Cheddar Off Dead. I have not gotten very far on it yet. I'm still in chapter 1, so I don't know if I'll get it finished this month, but I'm excited that I was able to find it on Everand and read it in ebook form. And so, yeah, I hope to get more of that read this month. And then one more book I listened to on audio. This is from my 60 by 60 challenge, and I didn't necessarily plan to pick it up, but I had access to it on Audible Plus, and there was a point during the month that I was out of audiobooks on Hoopla, and our county library system has a pretty tight limit on how many Hoopla books can be checked out in one day by the collective borrowing unit. So if you don't check out your books early in the day, you may not get a book that day. So I try to, borrow ahead. If I'm up past midnight, I go ahead and, borrow one after midnight so that I, kind of stay ahead of it. But anyway, I had run out of audiobooks, and I thought, well, what's a book on my 60 by 60 list that I can go ahead and get to? This was so good. This is a historical fiction book by Kristen Harmel called When We Meet Again. I loved this. I thought it was fantastic. And part of it is set in Florida, in Orlando. So that was kind of fun to hear the references to some places in Orlando that I've been to and am familiar with. So I don't want to go into a lot of detail right now, but it was a dual timeline, and I thought it was really, really good. So if you've never read any Kristen Harmel and you like historical fiction, check her out. I have read one other one that I also thought was very, very good. I've got one more on my shelf. And knowing now what I have thought of the first two I've read, I'm going to really look forward to that third one and probably seek out other books by her as well. One other book that I started that is for my devotional time that I did not have for the longest time is another one of these Through the Bible with Les Feldick books. Now, if you remember several months back, I was reading these. I have the first 7 volumes. These are transcripts from his messages that he spoke out loud, and some of his ministry team transcribed them into these books, but I didn't have number 8. I have several more after this. There's a total of like 80 because it goes through the entire Bible, and I've first read, I think, number 23 randomly that someone gave me and realized how good they were and how much I wanted to read the rest. So when I stumbled across a big stack of them at a library sale a couple years ago, I started reading them. But I have been holding off. I didn't want to skip to book 9. I wanted to have book 8. So I've been watching on eBay, and every, few days when new Les Feldick books would get posted, I've been looking for the deal. I missed one that somebody, got it before I could get to it. But what I ended up doing was purchasing a lot of, I think maybe 20 books, and I spent about $100 on them, but about half of them are books that I already had. So by reselling the ones that I already had that were duplicates, I'm pretty sure I can just about make my money back and pay for the entire lot, and then still have several left that I didn't have already. So that's what I did. I've already listed my duplicates, and I'm just gonna, sit on those and wait for those to sell. I have every confidence that they will sell. I have listed a couple of other duplicates before that sold right away. So I'm not worried about that, but I was so excited. I couldn't wait to pick this up. I didn't even wait till, I think I bought them near the end of February, and I didn't even wait for March to start this one. I went ahead and started it in February, and I'm really, really enjoying it. Now, I haven't really mentioned middle grade March yet. I did mention the Spiderwick books that I have read and started. I do have some other middle grade books that I want to read. It remains to be seen how many of these I will get done. I do think I can get this one read. The Force Oversleeps. This is book 5 in the Jedi Academy series. This is mostly a graphic novel, and I should be able to get to this. And I have 2 others here that are middle grade mysteries that I've got checked out from the library. And I don't know which one I want to read first. I probably can't get them both done. I'll try to at least get one started in March, and then probably save the other one for May. However, if I can get this one on audio, I might go ahead and listen to this one on audio. I'm pretty sure I can't get Theodore Boone on audio, at least not this one. And it's a little bit shorter. So I'll probably tackle this one in print, and if I can get this on audio, then I will do that. And maybe we'll get them both done. I don't know. We'll see. Oh, and one other book that I plan to read in March is The Yada Yada Prayer Group by Nita Jackson. I want to give a shout out to Ashli, the Strawberry Book Reader, because she just announced that she's starting a read-along of this. And this is a series I've had on my shelves for years, and it was never available on audio until recently, and now it is. So I decided that this will be a perfect time to go ahead and get these read. I have been wanting to. So Ashli is a longtime booktuber. She did not do videos for a long time. She used to be called Faithfully Moonstruck, and a few months ago she came back and, you know, redid her channel. And I mean, she came out the gate running. She has started this really fun Aim for the Target reading challenge that's based on archery that I've been doing, and we're in the second month of that right now. And now she's doing this read along, and she's had a live stream, and I think she's going to do more of those. So if you haven't checked out her videos, please do. She just hit 300, and, you know, it's hard to kind of come back from, you know, being gone for a while. And so I think there were a few people still out here who had watched her before. And so I just want to encourage all of you who have not ever watched Ashli to please go and check out her channel, and I will leave a link down below. So that is my middle of March update and wrap up. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't seen my last video about AI-generated audiobook narrators, I hope you will watch that. I also have a book haul that is already filmed. I just need to edit it, so hopefully that will be up very soon, and that includes some very exciting book mail that I got from my friend Sonia, from Sonia with an I, and I don't know what we'll do after that. So I hope that you will stay tuned. I hope that you are watching all of the booktubers who are posting about March Mystery Madness. People are reading some awesome sounding books, and thank you if you are participating, if you are supporting March Mystery Madness in any way, and watching all of the different people who are hosting and participating. Thank you for that. So there's lots going on for March Mystery Madness. Several read-alongs and things are happening. I was excited that Storm from Storm Reads finished her read-along of the first book in the J.P. Beaumont series by J.A. Jance, and they agreed to go right on and start book 2. And I'm so excited that she loved that book, because I love J.A. Jance. She is one of my most read authors, and it always excites me when people find books that I enjoy and enjoy them too. Then Tim from the channel Thrifty Tim's Books and Music, he has been doing some live streams on Wednesday afternoons, well, Wednesday at noon his time, Central Time, and it's 1 o'clock my time. And this past week we had Storm and Sarah and myself on there with him, and we will probably join him again this coming week. So if you are available midday on Wednesday, midweek this week and next week, then please join us in the chat, and let's chat about what we're reading and everything for March Mystery Madness. So that's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.